got a warning letter in February 2025. The one of the recent ones. So what does it say? The key violations are here: severe cross contamination in non-dedicated manufacturing equipment. So cross contamination is one part where, see, the entire manufacturing unit has to be designed in such a way that it mitigates cross contamination. See, they are not saying contamination; they are saying cross contamination, and which is a serious one actually. Bird droppings and feathers in AHU areas um, affecting air purification. Bird droppings, ideally, I think it is like pigeons, and pigeons are a menace. Wherever there is a concrete building, I think pigeons are going to flock together, and we need to have some kind of control measures for that. And the next one, it is inadequate equipment maintenance and HEPA filter failures. See, if they have found some HEPA filters which are failing HEPA filters, and that really doesn't support the artificial atmosphere that we are actually creating inside. And here, this is interesting. See this: the data integrity violations. Torn CGMP records found in 15 waste bags. Sounds familiar? You know, tearing of the papers. Okay, whatever may be the paper, including the blank documents, they are considered CGMP records. And now they are actually found torn in 15 waste bags. Well, then comes up with microbial contamination in air ducts. Air ducts, the HVAC vents, and these things actually they are overseen by the cleaning anyway. So they should have some serious measures that the ducts are also periodically tested and cleaned. And the lack of documented cleaning procedures, they go with they must be having all the records anyway, but there must be missing elements into the records. So the comprehensive document must be missing in this area for the critical equipment. So the documented cleaning procedures, it doesn't mean that it is not there, but must be, the document must be inadequate. So further details couldn't be found. It is only this data that we can find in FDA website. This is one, and the next one. Look at this: the Zydus Ahmedabad Moraya plant. It seems it is between April 15 to 23. So it's a 1 week audit, and they have got 10 observations here, and warning letter in August 2024. Multiple cross contamination events over 3 months. Glass particulate contamination in injectable plants, in injectable products. So fine glass pieces in the injections, which is a strict no-no, and poor aseptic behavior and inadequate sterile processing. Aseptic behavior, that goes with the people. It is always with the people. Some person knows something, some person behaves in a different way. If he doesn't know, he behaves in a different way. Inadequate investigations and contamination of human of see, these 3 months there are cross contamination events, and investigation is not proper. And process performance qualification deficiencies, right? Performance qualifications, there they have got some deficiencies into it. And voluntary recall of verapamil and cyanocobalamin injections. Voluntary recall, that has to be justified, why it is been actually drawn back, and probably these guys are they couldn't actually report to FDA properly in a proper sense. So the communication issues. So the third one here, it goes with the Sun Pharma. This is at Halol, Gujarat. If you know this plant, it is a huge one, and it has got 8 observations. 483 8 observations, and over a period of 10 days, 10 11 days in June 2025. What are the violations? Aseptic practices, deficiencies in aseptic practices, process validation issues, and equipment maintenance programs, data integrity concerns, They have got a data, and they didn't mention it specifically. And manufacturing protocol violations. Dr. Reddy's, this is at Srikakulam. This is in 2025, most recent one, July, and they have got seven observations here. GMP and pre-approval inspection violations. Okay, and this is the one actually nascent one. Manufacturing process deficiencies, quality control issues, and documentation problems. The comprehensive, that is what actually missing. So there are certain things that we need to have complete data captured up through the documentations. And I think I have worked in this site earlier. Next one, it is Piramal Pharma. Quality control unit procedures not properly documented. This one is a bit older version of it. In fact, equipment leakage with no operator oversight. So equipments are leaking, and operators oversight is not in the system. Inadequate investigation of API batches, batch deviations, and poor equipment maintenance and cleaning validation. Improper material storage leading to contamination risks. So these are all, it goes on with the contamination things, more of it, and the validation kind of um, procedures. And Zydus Life Sciences, this API unit at Gujarat, and it has got a six observations here. Okay, manufacturing deficiencies, quality control issues, maybe the manipulations, to my understanding, process protocol violations, the protocols, processing protocols. It is like this must be with the project managements actually. And Alchem, this is at Baddi, and they have got 10 observations, majorly focused on quality system deficiencies, manufacturing process issues, GMP and pre-approval inspection violations, documentation and record keeping problems. So almost the same kind of violations here. If you see the trend of it, data integrity is getting the most common one, and process validations, the cleaning validations. I think we are supposed to concentrate a bit more on these things. See here, CIPLA has got something interesting here. It is a bit older audit, but this has got some serious things out of it. See, failure to investigate 3,000 plus customer complaints. See, it is 3,000 plus customer complaints they have, and their investigation was not so proper. Cross contamination, poor contamination controls, manufacturing processes, deficiencies, and out of specifications. These are the things which actually focused more on it. See, the ninth one is the Pitampur unit, the Lupin Pharma, and they ended up with four observations: manufacturing facility compliance issues, quality control deficiencies, process validation problems. And Arvindo Pharma, this is at multiple facilities. So 2 to 11 observations per facilities. That's what they have claimed around. And GMP violations for API, and equipment and facility maintenance issues, documentation problems, quality control deficiencies, etc. So if we see what are the patterns that FDA is giving the observations, 2024 and 2025, it goes on with the data integrity issues majorly. Improper documentation, destroyed records, right? Second one is cross contamination, inadequate cleaning validation, and and they have shared equipment with for multiple products, and there is no cleaning validation properly done, and equipment maintenance, HVAC systems and filter failures, aseptic processing, poor sterile techniques, and inadequate validation, quality control, insufficient investigation of complaints, deviations, and facility issues, pest controls, the structure problems. The design itself has to be rectified in certain cases. So they are actually over 135 inspections in 2023 alone, and they are actually doubling them out. Are you guys still with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well. So these are the things that we have seen, actually how the observations are actually maintained by there is a consistent pattern on data integrity, the quality, the cleaning validations, and the pest controls, and there are multiple citations given by 483, and we got to be very conscious on the areas where actually or they have been they keep on mentioning it up. I think I have got one more document made. Just give me a moment if I can fish that out. So we will be having a few more uh, informations on that. Whether it is in the same document. Well, so these are the violations, yeah. And I'm sorry, I have got in the same document anyway. So this is by frequency, by each individual violation, kind of it. So the first one is data integrity violations, and this is the almost every single company has got this. Maybe for a lack of understanding on data integrity principles, or difficulty in getting it aligned, or something like that. Here it is like maintain adequate records and data integrity controls. First of all, controls are not there for the first thing. See, Granules, Zydus, Alchem, Hetero, and Intas. These are the companies which are affected. What do they do? What did they do? They have destroyed the GMP documents, and we just need to learn very strongly from this. The dustbins or the waste bags in the departments, they have to be totally empty when an audit is happening. Nothing has to be there in the dustbins. Nothing means nothing. The dustbin has to be there, or a waste bin has to be there, just for a showpiece. That's all. You should have nothing in it, no paper at all. QA actually is the owner of the entire documentation. If something is getting destroyed, some paper is getting destroyed, that QA has to do with proper documentation. No other department is allowed to tear any papers at all. You get an extra copy in the printout, you hand it over to QA. Don't tear it and drop it, even an empty document. And the other one, see here, unauthorized data manipulation and backdating. Backdating is one thing. The auditors, they really don't trust the compliance levels. Once they find, these guys have backdated, I think they're going to lose an interest in looking at further documents. And missing audit trails in electronic systems. We talked about this in computer system validation in the training program. See, the audit trails and electronic signatures, these are religiously supposed to be maintained. Religiously, in the sense, very strictly, we got to follow them. So, no audit trail in a system, I think we are gone with that electronic system. And testing into compliance practices. See, um, we need to just understand compliance becomes a buzzword everywhere. Manufacturing, testing, engineering, preventive maintenance, calibrations, everything, every part of it. So the compliance and data integrity, we can't afford to have non-compliance with the data integrity issues. Everybody is getting it, but this is the one surely which can be avoided. The second one, see here it is like cleaning validation. Again, Granule, Zydus, Piramal, Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, these are the companies which are directly affected during this time. But failure to establish adequate cleaning procedures for shared equipment. There is no company which doesn't have shared equipment. Every company, they have multiple products, every unit, in fact, right? So now, how you are going to have a cross contamination control? That's what actually it matters. Right from differential pressure, we have to maintain everything. Even if we don't have Magnal gauges working properly, they are going to say it is cross contamination. They are not going to listen to any of our words. And missing cleaning validation studies. Missing is a crime, let me tell you. So inadequate cleaning procedures, that is insufficient for equipment sections. That means the cleaning procedure, it doesn't ensure that the equipment will be clean after implementing the procedure. We have to keep end in mind. So whenever we talk about cleaning, after the cleaning, that process, the procedure, the equipment should be free of previous material. Unknown peaks in HPLC testing indicating contamination. See unknown impurities here. Again, this is another bad shot. It is a straight cross contamination. Unless there is another chemical which is contaminating it, we will not get another unknown peaks in HPLC. So this is another serious issue that we need to look at. And the next one goes with a poor investigation of OAS and deviations. See, investigations was number one previously, before data integrity. I think 5, 10 years back, 5 years back, not 10, 5 years back, investigations was the biggest concern to the FDA. So they were that was top rated FDA observation investigations. What they said is like you are not doing investigations proper. If you remember 5 years back, 5 to 6 years back, uh, there were various training programs conducted by various consultants, even at consultants like McKinsey, Lackman, and these guys, NSF and PwC. These guys, they have explicitly explained how the investigation should be done. So now the investigation, the complaints based on investigations, they reduced. They reduced, but they are not eliminated. See, there is always a possibility of a biased investigation. We have a result in mind, and then we confirm all the results out there, which is not really that a happier situation here. So, what did they say? A thorough investigation was not done with the batch failures and superficial root cause analysis. See this superficial root cause analysis. This is a very bad word that these guys have used, and inadequate kappa implementation. So now you have got done that root cause analysis, that is superficial, and kappa is not relevant, and then even that inadequate implementation, failure to assess the impact on the other batches. So they have just, what does this show? This shows that we are not dedicated. These companies were not dedicated in doing investigations. They just made it for some documentary things, and they have closed the issues. And this caught up FDS eye. And we got to understand it is not that easy to get over these kind of complaints. How many batches? How many investigations? CIPLA has got 3,000 complaints where it is not done. I don't know how far they are going to recover it and how fast. See the equipment maintenance and calibration deficiency. This is another one, a simple one in fact. So HEPA filter failures and damaged air handling systems, missing calibration records. Records are missing. That's what they say. Missing records is a crime. You are not supposed to lose your documents. That's major one of the major principles in good documentation practices. Never ever lose a document. And equipment used without proper qualification. The qualification protocols are not implemented well. That's a deal. And inadequate preventive maintenance program. Inadequate, it is like preventive maintenance program itself is inadequate, so the entire program gets affected. Not affected, that will not be adequate actually, because the master document is gone wrong, and calibration plans, validation master plans, preventive maintenance programs, the plans, they are not supposed to go wrong. Why? Because they are going to affect almost all the equipment in the manufacturing site, all the equipment. So now that the rectification is very tough for these things. And see the fifth one, inadequate return procedures. What do you mean by this? Excuse me. I think this is a point where I'll just stop for a moment, and I want you guys to put me any questions until here. Do you have any questions? Could you see the screen? Somebody is trying to say something actually.
Yes, sir.
Well, well. So let me just continue ahead. I have got two things to talk around. Oh wait, did, did I lose the picture? Video, I think I missed out.
అన్మ్యూట్ కూడా చేసుకోండి సార్, అన్మ్యూట్ కూడా చేసుకోండి.
I'm sorry.
నవ్ ఇట్
Able
ఈస్
to listen to me now?
నవ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కంటిన్యూ.
Yeah, yeah, fine. I think I have pressed the wrong button. Well, so here we are talking about inadequate written procedures. Here it says procedures not in writing or not fully followed. Uh, there are two things here actually for the SOPs, and not only SOPs for any document. One thing is whether they are in touch, they are in line with the regulations or not. First, SOP has to be in line with the regulations. That's the first part. Second part, we need to follow the SOP. So whether we have a system or not, that SOP defines, and whether we are following it or not, that the complaint speaks of. So now here, either of the cases. So when they say inadequate written procedures, they could be two things: either procedures are not sufficiently written, or they are not followed. And multiple companies, this is almost all the major companies, they have cited this one. Some point in time, FDA auditors are going to say it is not written properly because it is missing certain elements out there. Well, so missing standard operating procedure, sometimes the operating procedure itself is not there, and SOP is not accessible in work areas. This is also a non-compliance actually. So we need to have a display boards where SOPs are actually present there with a ready reckoner. Or let me tell you, Americans are a kind of people, they wanted to keep everything as a on board just to remind these things. I don't know why, but they have family pictures pasted in their work areas just to remind their family. And they have got visually appealing. If you see the FDA auditors, they want something visually appealing it out at the eye level. That's the reason why we go with posters, quality posters, or just to remind it, safety posters. These are the kind of banners, in the work areas, and these are the people actually they are going to insist for it. And now SOPs, they are supposed to be hanged up, or they are supposed to be attested with the in the work areas wherever the work is being done. So they don't find a SOP stand, it's a violation for them. We can't help it. And procedures are not consistently followed, not followed consistently. Sorry. So here, many a times, if you observe it, the same SOP, two departments will be following it in different way. Okay, the same SOP they will give you. There is a one SOP from corporate quality assurance, and multiple departments understand multiple ways, and they implement in multiple ways, same formats, but the sequence will be shuffled out. So because of the understanding, inconsistent understanding that they have. So and that is a violation. It happens many a time. When I was in corporate quality assurance, we had a training SOP handed over to somebody is trying to say something.
Tarun Singh, you can mute on session.
All right,
Your system.
all right. Well, so when I was in CQA, we have given one SOP to 5 different sites to operate. After some 3 or 4 months, when some other reason we have visited, not for an audit, for some other reason we have visited the sites. These sites, I think for the trainers, we have reached out to the sites. When we saw, some people they have got a training need analysis done along with the matrix. Some people they have done matrix in first and then the training need analysis. It's the same SOP. It is given in exactly the same wordings, but they understand it different, and both are right. Both the units, they are right. So now there is an inconsistent way of understanding an SOP, and then that becomes a violation. We need to understand, if we have one SOP, we need to follow it exactly in the same way with all the departments including. Well, so here the point it mentions like that, the procedures not followed consistently. That means two different departments handling the same SOP in two different ways. That's the deal. And quality control unit procedures, they are not documented. Quality control unit is quality assurance plus quality control. QA plus QC, it is called quality control unit. And their procedures are not documented combinedly. Well, here it is aseptic processing violations. It may be a bit nearer to our requirements here. See this, Zydus Life Sciences, Cipla, Lupin, Sun Pharma, these are the companies which are affected. And what are the issues? Operators disrupting first airflow. So now that means they are actually obstructing the way of the laminar airflow from the supply grills to the return air risers. So nowhere a person has to obstruct it, either through actions or by being present there. So don't obstruct the flow. That means don't stand in between, the supply grill and the return air risers. You keep a chair at the return air riser, I think we are done. And we should understand that very clearly. You can't keep your hands open like this. You can't open it. You have to be closed so that the air flows through you, right? And first and foremost, movement should be restricted, and it is very slow movements you have to make. So that is a kind of training that we provide for aseptic practices. Well, so don't disturb. Operators have to keep in mind that they are, by being present in the aseptic area, they are actually obstructing the airflow, and they have to do it in a minimalistic way. So they can't actually swing their hands, or then they can't open their arms just like that. Well, so that is a whole different training anyway. So inadequate airflow simulations. See the inadequate airflow, the flow rate of the air, and it has to be proper, and it has to be monitored, it has to be counted, measured with an instrument, and that has to be documented, which is not happening here. And poor clean room behavior. What does it mean? Walking here and there in the aseptic area, and making some brisk movements, and sitting and writing something or something like that, and sneezing out, or stretching the body or something like that. The poor clean room behavior, it always, what is the result? It is obstructing the airflow. And compromised sterile processing environments. Somewhere, somehow, the integrity is gone with either with the filters or with the readings what they get out of it, or they're actually managing it out with the environmental monitoring. So they are not properly doing the things out there. So these kind of complaints come in. So compromised sterile processing environments. And the next one, facility and environmental control issues. Okay, and the granules, Alchem, Hetero, Arvindo, these are the companies which are affected with this. And what are they? Bird infestations. See, we take a very big care of crawling insects and for flying insects, and pests and rodents. We take care of. We concentrate more on the rats, squirrels, and many things. We focus more on them, lizards, and all these things. But one thing which is overseen is pigeons, bird infestations. Oh, that is too much actually. Birds are like, I don't find with trouble with the birds, but with the droppings, the feathers, they are totally unclean. So they are going to mess up entire manufacturing units, the serenity. And the trouble is, these pigeons or the birds, they are going to strike the glasses even. They break the glasses sometimes, and they can actually eat the silica gel present between. You have got that adhesive between the glasses. You see that it can actually pick it out with the nose. They can just pick it out, and over a period of time the glass can fall down. So that is a trouble there. And structural deficiencies. That's what it means. That means there is a possibility for a pigeon to break your glass. So that is a structural deficiency. Not only pigeons, sometimes we get crows. Crows are also there. And if if these things are there, there are bigger birds coming in. Generally, we don't find them in the city atmosphere, but eagles will also come down. I have seen an eagle in Sandoz actually, Mumbai, and snakes are also there. We got to be very conscious with these things. Pest control, we just stop with chemical exposure, spraying all the disinfectants. But birds, what can you do? I think I have got a remedy for it. They have got some that there are some audio records. They mimic the shouts of people. Okay, shouts of people, people shouting. It gives a tape recorder, like it is an audio tape. It gives some kind of people, the sounds of people shouting around. So, and that keeps pigeons away. All right. So here, poor facility hygiene and maintenance, and environmental monitoring deficiencies. So they actually, I think, the entire manufacturing facility, it should be robust, it should be strong enough to handle the bird strikes, uh, microbial control as well, including that one. Well, I think we are now stepping into process validation deficiencies. The process validation deficiencies, again, big companies, right? Zydus Life Sciences, Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, Pirimal, they have got what? Missing performance qualifications. Okay. And then they have inadequate sampling during validation studies. So how much should be the sampling and all? They didn't define it or they didn't follow it. And no acceptance criteria for batch variability, or which appears to be very serious concern, right? And changes made through revalidation. What is batch variability anyway? Well, batch variability is the range beyond the acceptance criteria. So we need to have a robust batch where, if you remember, R&Ds, they have, uh, while they develop their studies, there will be something called a variable studies as well. What do they do? They process the product in a worst case scenarios, a worst case studies, and they are beyond the acceptance criteria actually. So how robust our process is at the worst case scenarios, right? So that actually that should have some acceptance criteria, not the failures there. Well, changes made without revalidation. What are all the revalidations they have done and changes? And they have, see, there are two things here. One, you change something major, you go with revalidation, right? And sometimes what is major and what is minor, this is the place where even experienced experts, they get, they get confused out here. One, because of the analysis is not done properly. Second one is the business reasons. Revalidation costs you a lot. Again, revalidation, again you go for entire process validation, probably it is going to consume a lot of time. Maybe they are going to save some time by deciding that revalidation is not required. So changes have to be revalidated, otherwise we are going to spend a lot more time correcting, having a corrective and preventive action over that. Entire revalidation again you have to do anyway. Well, so we just need to be conscious. Don't decide that revalidation is not required when changes are made. And training deficiencies, oh, this is one of my favorites actually. Missing GMP training documentation. We need to keep on begging people, please come, please attend the training, all these things. And if I find something, these kind of observations, I feel I'm taking a revenge. Like, you know, many people, I don't know, they get carried away with their business in such a way that they don't want to attend the training programs. That becomes a deal. Missing GMP training documentation and analysis as well. After the training, there should be a questionnaire, of course, and otherwise it is not a training. We are just giving some information, and they are coming, they are listening, and they are going without proper uh, examination after that, or that is not also accepted. So personal performing tasks without qualification. What does this mean? Whenever there is an SOP changeover, whenever it gets approved, they need to, under all the people who are connected with the SOP, they have to be trained. Thumb rule in training is you are not supposed to sign a document without having a training on that. And no one actually cares for this while they are signing it off. I request you sincerely, this is one of the evidence that I could gather. Wherever you sign, just look at the SOP and are you trained on that? That's all, and then sign it. Otherwise, don't sign it. It's it's really tough to identify them. Inadequate training for visual inspection operators. Visual inspection, we need to have a well-defined uh, apparatus, right? So, what are all the defects, and what are all this is like a qualification we do. Visual inspection operators. What is the defect, and how to identify a defect? What are the kinds of defects? All these things that has to be trained, and that has to be uh, you know like it has to be done like a qualification. So training records not updated or maintained, that's a different story altogether. So training records are not updated, that means trainings are not done. That's a simple thing. Well, I think we have got one more, material storage and handling violations. Material storage and handling, this is this is one area which is actually overlooked by many of the managers. Many managers, they don't give proper weightage for material storage and handling them. See, the violations are like this. See this here: improper storage conditions for API and components. Maybe the temperature has gone wrong, maybe the RH has gone wrong, all right, or the differential pressure has gone wrong, and cross contamination risk. See here, the warehouse is one area where there is a lot of material, lot of material. So we just need to have proper racking system, proper tracking mechanism for these things. Otherwise, we can't really handle it. Everything looks alike. Okay, every powder is white, off white to white. We can't really make out with a naked eye if we are not properly having a system there. And see here, inadequate material control, material handling procedures. The procedures itself, they have got some mistake for the material handling, and missing documentation for material. And this one is the most overlooked. How the material is being transited from one place to the other, that is not documented anywhere. Many of the companies I have seen, material movement they don't track. They have a rack, they keep the material here. How much material has gone where? There is no proper document connecting it through. The logbooks, we need to make use of logbooks, entry exits of the storage areas, and then the day stores, the hold areas, so where the material is present, how the material is moving. There has to be some adequate documentation done on that. Well, here. So I think we are done with all the top 10 and some kind of key statistics. Data integrity, it appears in 70% of Indian pharma FDA 483s. Data integrity is leading actually. 70% of the Indian pharma companies, no, 70% of 483s given to Indian pharma data integrity. Cleaning validation, 60% of cases. This is huge. This is alarming. Earlier it was investigation. Now cleaning validation has taken over. And investigation failures, that is always.
నాడు
Yep.
వల్లే ఇంకా
Or somebody wanted to say something.
పొద్దున వద్దాం అనుకుంటే
Ravi Pedveni, you can mute on the system.
All right. All right. And then equipment problems. So equipments, the aging problems are also there. We also see that, and investigation failures, so they stop at 55, and equipment problems. 50% of the observations. So this is the way how actually we are running through is. And I have got one kind of remediation plan, and I just want you to hold with me for another 5 minutes. Um, Here it is. Some strategies for these top 10 observations. Okay, data integrity, cleaning validation, investigations, equipment maintenance, written procedures, aseptic processing, facility controls, process validation, personal training, and material handling and storage. Here, we go with some kind of short-term approach and long-term uh, actions. So I'm just taking you through the slides. Please follow through them. This is for data integrity violations. So immediate actions, they go with document recovery and their assessment. We need to recover the documents which are actually going out, and system access. If at all we are using the electronic system, so that review we have to do, and we have to talk to the staff who are actually using the documentation. Are they finding any difficulties in having the documentation done? Sometimes the documentation structure itself, it will be promoting data integrity issues. So those things, if at all are there, we need to have a understanding from the staff, right? And we need to get on with the interim controls immediately, right? And the short term, it is from 1 to 6 months. So electronic systems, we have to upgrade them, and data governance program, we have to keep it in place, and some good training programs. And long term, it goes with the culture and continuous monitoring. These are the only things that we can do: continuous monitoring and culture development. We have to promote people towards writing proper documentation. Second one, inadequate cleaning validation. You just need to shut down the equipment. Contamination assessment, make the risk assessment, and have an emergency cleaning done fully, and then test the affected batches. And this one is overlooked many of the times. We need to see that how many batches are affected and what is the risk that we are carrying with that. All right. And short term actions are like this: cleaning validation studies, you need to study the cleaning validation, and equipment specific SOPs, statistical evaluation, and some acceptance criteria for them. We need to have some stronger acceptance criteria. And what is long term actions? Dedicated equipment strategy, because based on the equipment validation, cleaning validation, and risk assessment program. We need to introduce a risk assessment program for it. And then automated cleaning systems. Automated cleaning systems are the best systems, because one, it saves time; two, it maintains consistency; three, every nook and corner will be cleaned by the equipment by itself with proper cleaning agents. Human beings, we are, I respect the people who are working there, but the methods become inconsistent. Sometimes some people they do it, different people do it in different ways. That's a problem. But automated cleaning systems, the best methods. We can count on it. Well, investigations. Now form an investigation team, and hold the batch. Hold the batch. You have to hold the batch. And I'm sorry, it is not, you are not going to like it, but holding batch, it is a remedy for many things, right? And training, investigation training, uh, to the extent we go for training, we are better. Less the training, we are worse. People, they feel investigation can be done with common sense. It can't happen. It has to be done professionally. It has got some scientific rationale behind it. Every step has got a proper consequence. So we just need to study through that. Common sense doesn't work with the investigations. And this is the problem. People feel that investigation can be done with common sense. Common sense doesn't work. We need to have some scientific rationale. Well, and what are the short term actions? Enhance your SOP, put as many as tools you can, okay, and try to define what kind of tool need to be taken for what kind of trouble, okay, and at least to some extent a guideline kind of it, and that works wonders. Documentation standards have to improve, and quality review processes have to be multiple. And long-term trend analysis, cross-functional trainings, and knowledge management. These are the only things which can help investigations. Biasedness, that and this. So I understand biasedness is there to some extent, but people with they feel that investigation can be concluded, root cause can be identified with common sense, with a regular way of thinking, but it doesn't work. It takes some scientific rationale. Well, equipment maintenance, okay, status reviews, and you have got to uh, replace the HEPA filters, and calibration and the verification of the equipment. This is the way how we need to do it. And HEPA filter is like a very vulnerable filter in the entire manufacturing unit. I say vulnerable, it is very weak because the pore size is so small, and it can be choked, it can be broken, and it has got a lot of pressure to suck the air or water inside. And we just need to understand HEPA filter is going to lose its integrity very frequently, right? And then we need to go with the preventive maintenance programs, all right, and equipment qualifications, computerized maintenance management systems, some building management systems, and all. And we need to go with predictive maintenance. Equipment, you can't you can't repair an equipment. You need to save an equipment from the repair. So it has to be proactive. Your maintenance programs has to be predictive. Well, okay. Inadequate written procedures, do the SOP gap analysis, um, hire a consultant if required. If you are overseeing your mistakes, I think we need to have a consultant done, and get the SOP gap analysis and critical SOP development. SOP accessibility has to be improved, and short-term actions, SOP development program. We need to have a tremendous program. If at all we have these kind of complaints from 483s, we have to have a tremendous program for SOP development. Every single format has to be connected with each other. And then the document control system. This is what I'm saying, not the version control, but the document control. We need to connect all the things with the all the documents sufficiently. And long-term actions, continual improvement, training, continual improvement and training. This is going to help us. Aseptic processing, okay, you have got personal retraining. All the behaviors, they are supposed to be trained again. And short-term actions, aseptic training program, facility improvements, and process simulations. Long-term technology updates. The aseptic processing always it sits on with technology updates. We need to see some monitoring programs in such a way that we get an indicator the moment the aseptic processing is being violated. It is not a wonder if we can have a CC camera inside. It is not a wonder anyway. Facility and environmental control issues, pest controls. Okay. Oh, some manufacturing units, they also have problem with monkeys. Monkeys and dogs and the snakes. These are bigger animals to handle, and our security guards really worry a lot how to hold it. They don't really know how to handle a monkey, running around the places. So we need to have fencing, electronic fencings. So we can't allow some bigger dogs and donkeys to get inside the manufacturing area. Short-term actions of facility maintenance program, environmental monitoring program has to be improved. Well, and long-term facility modernization. Modernization is like we should not have older traditional material like concrete and mortar because it gives a lot of cracks, and there are many insects which are actually coming out of that mud actually. So if you see that modern buildings, they use very less concrete. And even the concrete is like it's outdated, old-fashioned, permanent structures kind of things. So that actually doesn't help for a longer period of time. As the building ages, when it cracks, it absorbs moisture, it absorbs rainwater, and it has got some issues up there. Land and water, the mud and water, it is a breeding ground for many bacteria out there. A bit outdated. How do you go with that? Go with glasses. Go with some steel panels. That runs really well. Process validation or validation status reviews, hold the batches, again process hold, and the validation team formation. So you need to have a proper cross-functional team for that. And short-term actions, process validation program, it has to be reshuffled again, and some sampling plans, they have to be in place, and life cycle approach has to be taken. Well, this we know. Process validation is one among the big things that we train a lot. And training, oh, this is my slide again. So training gap assessments, training need analysis, make it scientific process. Okay. So again, training can't be done with common sense. Training has to be done with a scientific rationale. Okay. The training need analysis, the training objectives, framing of assessments, all these things. All right. In short term, training management system and trainer qualifications, it takes time, and long term career development plans. So now people should be knowing by doing proper things, they are going to grow in their career. So that's what we need to give a glimpse of it through the training. Well, and I think I have got the last one. Here it is the material storage and handling violations. So inventory assessments, you need to check your stock ledger very seriously, and then material segregation and the material flow, the document review. And short-term actions, we go with the warehouse management system, or I have seen a system called SARS actually, semi-automated retrieval system that works wonders. Yeah, and automation systems that comes in the long term anyway. We need to see how best we can automate in material management. That is also a very big positive thing if at all we can do that. Well, so these are the things, you just frame it out and a timeline, and this is okay. I'm fine with this. So I'm sure, this is going to be a marathon. This is not going to be a simple process, once in a while process. We have to do it as a consistent efforts. By for consistently, we need to keep on efforts, and we need to work phase wise. We need to work what is immediately we are doing, and what is the short term and what is the long term, and we need to keep on running around these things for one reason. FDA 483s, there, let me tell you, FDA has a scattered focus at the moment. Okay, so if you see these observations, they are from 2024 to 2025, and these people, they are actually having multiple areas to focus at this point in time. And we are in a stage, the entire pharma industry is in a stage of scale up, and this is important for us to handle well. So I conclude here, uh, and this is the time. I think I'm overshot by 5 minutes, and I'm sorry for that. Any questions? Anybody? You have any questions? I think this is a time to take up some questions.
Uh, yeah, sir. As we are having, in maintenance schedules of, analytical instruments, so we are having a proactive approach for the, we are scheduling for the maintenance of all the instrument once in a year, and we are doing the maintenance scheduling, preventive maintenance or scheduled maintenance. So as we are talking about the predictive maintenance of the instruments, so how will take
Predictive maintenance, yeah.
predictive maintenance? So how will take care of the instrument to have a system to perform the predictive maintenance?
One thing is, predictive maintenance is, it is not possible for all the equipment. First point. So listen.
Okay.
So for those things which we can do the predictive maintenance is like we get the indications of the wear and tear. So those equipments which have more frequent usage and more friction within themselves, we need to have certain indicators to provide to be provided, so that we can address them properly. Say for example, we have got a chain, chain and socket. So if that gets worn out, we need to get some kind of investigation, not the intelligence of the operator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we need to find some methods to place certain sensors or some kind of indications or some sound variations or something like that, and we are going to include it into our preventive maintenance program. And those things, they work. So predictive maintenance, actually it goes on identifying the wear and tear before it starts. So we can place certain systems up there based on three things. One, more friction. One is more friction. Wherever we identify that there is friction more, we need to have some checkpoint up there. And the second point is like usage. So more usage. There we are going to have one more checkpoint. Third one is most overseen by the operators. Operators have got a tendency to operate the equipment in a hard way. Though they are done by HMI, the man-machine interface, the handling of the equipment, that gives us some indications. So these three factors have to be incorporated into our preventive maintenance program. That stays with predictive maintenance.
Okay, fine. So we are having some organizations having a checklist while doing the preventive maintenance, along with the service engineers, those who are providing services for the preventive maintenance. So they are having the checkpoints, and in internal firms having their checklist. So we have to
Hmm.
include the what you are saying, the wear and tear parts, those who are operator overlook during his or her operation. So that will
Correct.
be we have to take care in our preventive maintenance checklist. So before any major shutdown or major breakdown of that instrument, we'll take care, and instrument will be keep performing, keep operational all the time. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome. Very nice. So any other questions? Well, so I don't want to kill your time on a holiday for long, and I am sorry for keeping all the training programs on Sundays. We are a fan of Sundays, of course, and I think this is a good time, for a refresh time, so we are not bothered by the works, so that Sunday trainings are actually happier trainings for me at least. I don't know how you are finding them, and thank you for joining me on the holiday, and we keep on doing the best things. So I just want to reiterate, so you can actually schedule a 30-minute free consultation with the Royal Quality Pillars if you find something really interesting to talk around, or to find some specific issues resolved at your workplaces. All right, thank you for today.
Sir,
Thank
one
you.
more question. Last one. So
Yeah, please go
yeah.
ahead.
So most of the organization, yeah, as a, you have, we FDA has identified that SOP accessibility and all. So every workplace there should be a SOP, because operator have handle it at the time of they are performing the task. So most of the organizations having electronic systems in place, wherein which all the SOPs, all the test methods, and best practices documents they are having uploading on a system, wherein which there are electronically accessed for that.
Hmm.
So the major question is how the we will make it available for all the operators at their right place where they are working.
Hmm.
So how will make them because FDA having issues regards to the people's, those who are what they are doing, they are not exactly followed the SOP. Okay.
Right.
So electronic documents they are accessing on the electronic system, and they are well known to the what they are doing, or they are by brain they are doing all the tasks what they are assigned for them. So accessibility and actual operational, they are there is a gap. So how will it minimize the gap between the electronic system and actually what they are doing operational SOP on the hand?
See, there are two things here. One, accessibility is a deal. So now the you know having an SOP stand in the operational area, uh, that is important actually. And some set of control copies, they will be hanged up there, even though you have got electronic systems. We can't depend fully on the electronic systems. You have got a document management system, and not all the operators will be having a electronic signature to go through. That is one issue. FDA has set this accessibility in a couple of audits. What happens here is, they have got all the SOPs in the system. Okay, so electronic system, and but the trouble is not all the operators are having the electronic signatures access to the all the SOPs. Say for example, you have got production SOPs, a set of production SOPs, and the production operator, he doesn't have the computer access at all. That becomes a deal. So whenever they go with the computerized things, what they do, uh, 80% of the staff, they don't have computers. Generally 70 to 80% of the staff, they don't have computers in the shop floor. So now what they do is, whenever they have got a documentation system established, they give access only to those people who have the email IDs. And how many operators will have that, the email IDs and all these things? So that becomes an issue there. So ideal thing is having a physical SOP copy hanged, hanged just beside the logbook of the equipment. That is one best shot. Second thing is, get the people to refer the SOP before they do. People, they overlook it. Even the SOP is there, they don't want to read the SOP and then do it. It's a practice of them. So what we need to see is the BMRs. Whenever we have a BMRs or the BMR issues out there, I think we should have a checkpoint between the stages, refer the SOP there, and that works. I have seen one company doing that. So during the process, it is a checkpoint saying that refer the SOP and then fill the next point. So there is one statement in the BMR. I don't remember. This was very long back, maybe in 2004, four, I think, 4 or 5. I was with Cipla at that time, but not with Cipla, but some other company. I don't really remember the name of the company. In the BMR, they have written, check the SOP for this format and then do the next step. And that is going to be a very healthy habit actually. If we can have a couple of statements in the BMR to refer the SOP, they are going to do it.
Yeah, you mean that's we have to make SOPs easily available to the area where they are working. So
Yeah.
that will be the one, will comply with the electronic system and what they are actually hard copies of SOPs for usage. So that
Hmm.
will be minimize, the operational or difficulties during operation for the operator. Is it right?
Yes, to some
Yes,
extent. Yeah,
serious,
to some
serious.
extent. But I have got one more advice with the electronic systems. They need not have the access kind of, because the computer itself is present in the access controlled area. They don't need to have electronic signatures and access. They can just display the SOP, just run the SOPs like that, and that also works.
Sir, I can add another two suggestions in this point.
Yeah.
In if it is the sterile or in operations, in production operations,
Hmm.
equipment having the some HMI and followed by some IPC. One type of IPC is coming into the market. It is the IPC is called as a PC. It's a general computer only. Okay, equipment operated through the IPC. If it is the IPC available with equipment, documents is accessible along with. Instead of the HMI, we can suggest to the IPC. That is the one concept. If it is IPC is available, DMS documents will be accessible. And other areas, we are implemented one FDA remediation. Okay, approximately 30 tabs we are additionally buy it and will give it to the respective areas. it will be the every area it is covered in this the in that particular plant. Okay, so that will be the additional budget. It is approximately 2.5 lakhs only. 30 tabs. The tab will be movemented to the from the any area to any area to any area. It is the not contamination point of view. If it is the QC is there. If it is given to the three tabs, the tab along with worksheet, it is the movement also it is going on. Along with the tab, it is the SOP, STP. They see it and they make it the calculations. So non-operational areas we are using to the tabs. Operational areas we are using to the IPC. That is the one concept we are suggested. And second thing, as part of the licensing of the users and as part of the email system, each and everyone not having the email, these all are we can uh, develop the our internal DMS documentation management system. Generally, if it is the in market, approximately 50 users, and they will give it to the 50 users any electronic system. Additional, if it is the 1,000 members also is there, they are not able to provide to the login licenses because of their costing. If it is the additional license, it is the burden. But our internal DMS, we are regularly going to the DMS trainings in evening, 7:30 to 9:30, batches wise we are conducting. You, if people are somebody interested, you can see it. Okay. In that one, whoever the plant, how many members is there? Those all are will give it to the provide to the license with the same cost of the DMS, with the not burden of the licensing cost. So that is the our internally we have developed the so many things. So I can suggest to the that DMS. Other DMS will be have the licensing issues. They are given to this simply 50 users approximately, and you can use it to the entire plant. But our DMS not like that. We'll give it to the whoever the required to the users. All users we are give it to them. And we have the some IT systems also. What are the emailing issues? And these all are our internal IT team is there. They will conduct servers, additional servers, and they will give it to the mail server, additional mail server. These all is the within the very small budget. Emails also not an issue nowadays. So if it is the given to the own way, it is the burden. If it is given to the as part of the third party, we are maintaining to the mail server, we are maintaining to the documentation server also. So there is no burden onto the internal IT. If it is the internal IT is taken to that, it is the very burden and as part of the financials. This is the I suggested Anil Desai.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, that's a better trade off anyway.
Yeah, email server with us na. If it is the 1,000 emails is required, 1,000 emails will give it to you. But email server they are maintained to the internally. They are take it to the approximately. It is the 100 package. It is the for 30,000, 40,000 every month bill. Okay, so we are given to the 1,000. Why? Because no, we don't have into the our internal mailing system that one. So we are given to the 1,000 mails also, not an issue. And followed by DMS also our internal only. We are in the developers. Because of that, we are given to the if it is the 1,000 member also, we will give it to the licensing user license in the same cost.
Well, or that's an option anyway. Well, I think we are shooting out. It's almost another 20-23 minutes we have pulled out. Uh, Sorry for making it a longer session anyway. So you can always come back to us for some other queries and some other clarifications and some support required, however you feel it is comfortable. So I conclude the session now. Suresh, I think we okay to conclude the session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all, and keep on seeing you. Maybe next Sunday we'll come up with a few more topics out here. And thanks for joining us. See ya.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Hope you like the session. Thank you.